Welcome to my very first fucking YouTube video, bro. Today we finna do a chill little tattoo on one of the homeboys and shit. It's gonna be a ghost tattoo, like Ghost from Modern Warfare, fucking Simon and shit. But in this video, it's kind of more of a time lapse, a speed tattoo lapse, whatever the fuck you call that shit. Just I talk a little bit about my process and here and there, but the video is chill. In my next video, I'm gonna try to go more in depth with my process and try to make it a little more interesting. But this one just a quick little video to shit, just to get the flow of everything and shit. You feel me? So, but yeah, we're finna start off with a little speed paint or speed paint, I don't know, fucking time lapse of the drawing process of the tattoo design. I can't fucking speak for shit, but yeah, here's that. Alright, so I'm recording this audio on my phone and shit, so my bad if you hear any background noises and shit, like my PC fan. Sometimes my mic likes to pick up the sound of it. It's really not that loud, but sometimes I might just be tripping, so my bad if you hear that, but it should be good enough. So yeah, at first I did do a better video of this. I recorded like an OBS recording of me actually using my Clip Studio program and shit. All that footage got lost. It got wiped because I kept closing my PC without saving it and closing the OBS app, so I guess it doesn't save. I thought it would automatically save, but shit, at least I know for next time and shit, you feel me? But luckily I already had the recording going on Clip Studio, so I still have a time lapse and shit. So as you can see, I did start with a very rough sketch, very trash looking sketch, but that's just to get all my bases down, all the parts that I'm gonna put, like face, hands, and then I go in and do a slightly better sketch, more cleaned up, still a little rough, to better out the shapes and correct things that don't look right. For this one, I did 4 different ones. Usually I'll do 3, but for the third one, it's just there's certain things that I didn't really like, so I wanted to fix. Because before you do line work, usually you want to have everything put in for you, so then you're not struggling trying to fix shit as you're doing your line work and stuff, so that's what I did. And then after that, I go in and I do my line work, which you should see here coming up. Yeah, so this is my line work and stuff. Also, the background is just, it's toned because it helps with my eyes. Sometimes when it's a bright ass white screen, it bugs my eyes and shit, so. But for this one, at first my client, he was like, hey, I want to do some cards, it was 4 cards and have the king on the top of the card. And I was like, all right, shit, bet. I was like, so maybe we could do a skeleton king and shit. Fool said, yeah, bet, let's do that. And after I kind of sketched it out, we was kind of thinking and talking, and he was kind of like, hey, maybe we could do Ghost instead, like Ghost Simon from Modern Warfare, And I was like, shit, say less. That seems pretty badass. So we went in and did that instead. And I honestly do fuck with this look instead of the king, And so that's why I also put a G instead of a K. So G for ghost instead of K for king, Because I thought it would be kind of goofy if we did make it a king card and give him a crown and stuff. I feel like it'd have been too much just because he already has a helmet. And, I wanted to put his gear and stuff. So that's why we did that instead. But yeah, I always design my tattoos. It is one of the process I like to do is when I'm designing it and shit, because fuck AI. I don't know why tattoo artists are trying to use AI and shit now. It's some bullshit. Just make your own shit, draw your own shit. It's better. But I'm also gonna show some tattoos up here. You're gonna see them right now. These are some of the tattoos that I've done so far, so you guys could also see the other shit that I've been getting down with, But yeah, I haven't been tattooing for too long, I've been drawing ever since I was a kid, so luckily I had that experience. But tattooing is so much different. But I feel like I've made a lot of progress from once I did first start, And I really do appreciate everybody that's trusting me with their skin and shit. You know, that's one thing that's really nice about tattooing is, you know, you have trust and you build relationships and conversations and stuff with people. It's really cool. It's really cool, you know. I'm gonna put all the different steps here on the screen. Obviously you see all that shit in the speed paint, but just so you can see it side by side. So yeah, I always start with, you know, some very rough, so that you could put all your things in place, like, you know, just because you don't want to stress yourself out going in doing all your crazy details and shit. You always just build it up over time, so then once you get to the end, it's more accurate and you're not stressing the fuck out and shit, you know. But next video, I'm gonna do a better time lapse, hopefully, just so y'all could, you know, it just looks more appealing and the screen is filled. So hopefully this is chill. You know, I got a little background with dice and shit, so hopefully that's chill enough for y'all. But also on the next video, I'm gonna try to show more progress of what I'm doing and shit, because you'll see in the future it's not really anything too crazy. I'm kind of just talking about like the progress, but I want to record more depth in me actually doing certain spots and certain things, you know. I just need to get at least a tripod or some shit so I can record myself. But hopefully overall, you know, the tattoo video is pretty chill and y'all enjoy and shit. So yeah, here's the finished drawing and shit. So yeah. Alright, hopefully y'all fucked with the little speed paint and shit.
Nope.
I just got to the shop not too long ago. Finna clean up and set up while I wait for my client and shit. So I'll show my setup and all that before I start tattooing and stuff. But yeah, here's my little station and shit. Pretty chill. Got all my art on the wall. All of this is my art. These are just prints, so copies of my work and stuff. And then yeah, besides the fucking Bowser and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but
No shit.
alright, this is my setup. This is my washes and shit. I always do a 2-drop, 5-drop, halfway, more towards the top, and then, like, you know, just lighter to darker and shit. I always have I have a lot of tones just because, I don't know, I low-key probably don't need that much, but I kind of like to have all my tones set up and shit, you feel me? I use a Bishop machine, rotary. I'm trying to look into getting other machines and shit, but I don't really know what brands are good, because I don't want like no critical brand or anything, you know. I'm trying to find like a brand that's like tattoo owned, you know, like tattoo owner. Like, I'll be using these needles. I'm gonna be trying these shits out. It's like by a company called Peak Needles or some shit, so shit better be actually fucking Peak and not shit. But gonna use that because I've been using these quadrants, but I low-key haven't been fucking with them that much because I feel like they kind of clog up really easily, you know, and I have to go through a bunch of needles and I don't like that shit. So we'll see how these ones are, and I'll kind of explain what I think about them and shit. So what we doing today, bro?
Doing Ghost and a deck of cards. Clean little cards.
Oh, yup. So yeah, I got the design right here. We decided that we're gonna have the gun facing out instead, because obviously usually you have the like tattoo facing towards the body, but I feel like with this one it's a little different because we kind of have the gun outside, so it's kind of like, oh, he's gonna be shooting motherfuckers instead of like if it was pointed that way, it's gonna be shooting him, you know. So I mean, it's a little different. So, but I feel like in this way it looks better in my opinion. But yeah, here's the little stencil and shit. We in a new setting right now. We outside and shit. Just take a little break, but I got all my light tones down. You know, I did the light tones. Usually I'll like do it from bottom to top, but I went and did my light tones because the skin was getting super red. So usually when that happens, I do my light tones, and as I'm going up, so by the time I get to the top, the bottom will have already died down and shit. Usually happens like, you know, because this fiend smokes some weed and shit. So usually it tends to make you bleed more and your skin more red. But obviously that's not a big problem. That's why you just let it die down. But yeah, we just chilling. I'm finna go in and finish all the the darks, like go and do all the darks, and once I do the darks, it's gonna look 10 times better. So you just gotta trust the process, you feel me? You know, got us some grub for a little break and shit, you feel me? Got us some juice, you know, just some light work, you know. Finna fuel up. This fool needs to fuel up too, you know. Gotta keep that energy going. I got most of the dark tones down. Just gotta do the little background and shit. Add some of the depths to the cards, and I'm gonna go in and darken some little spots, and it's done. Get in there. Pretty close. It's just looking tight though. Hell yeah. Alright, this is the finished tattoo. I'm gonna show it in some natural lighting because I feel like sometimes the camera doesn't really give the full effect of like how it looks in person and shit, you know, because it always has like that shine. Like I don't know, you know, you see this shine right here. You don't see that shit with your like in person with your own eyes and shit. So that's the one thing I hate about fucking cameras with the tattoos and shit. But as you can see, like it looks tight. Like, you know, got that shit, got them low ass details. Got the gun and shit, got the cards. Yeah, food's looking clean. I'm about to show a clip of the shit outside, but you know, it's clean. And with my needles too, with these new needles, the fucking Peak needles, it's pretty chill. I ended up going back to my Quadrant 3 liner just because I really do like the newer needles. It just I just didn't have the right size for it, so I ended up going back to my Quadrant. But I do like these needles better than Quadrant. It doesn't like clog up the ink and like spill out the ink right at once, or like not spill out any ink at all. It does it all evenly. Like I noticed when I was shading a little bit with it, it was all even. Like I didn't have to replace the needle at all. And obviously once I came back with the Quadrant, because I did the Quadrant liner, because I kind of noticed I kind of like doing the shading with the liners instead of the round shader, because I used the round shader at the beginning and I wasn't really fucking with it. Maybe it's because it was a bigger size. It was a 3 though, so you know a 25-3 is pretty small already. But I just wasn't really liking the effect it was looking. But the way that the 25-3 liner was looking with the Quadrant, it just better. You know, smaller details and shit too. So I think I'm gonna just buy a liner of this brand instead and see what's up with it, because I feel like it'll have a better experience. But yeah, I used the Quadrants, and what, like I said, I fucking ended up using like 4 different needles because that shit just was clogging up and shit. Overall, it's not too bad. Like you could still get the same effect with other needles. It's just annoying having to replace a needle because it's just more money and shit, you know. This is my drawer of Quadrants. As you can see, I got a shit ton of these motherfuckers. Obviously, I already bought all this shit, so I'm gonna use it. Like, obviously, like I said, it's still fine in general. It's just annoying having to replace that shit. But my low ass drawer with the Peak needles, which is the company is called Peak, but it says Peak right there. But these are stellar. You know, these shits are fire. It's way better than the Quadrant shit. And this brand is owned by tattoo artists instead of a big ass company. You know, like I feel like big ass companies, they tend to start giving less of a fuck about quality and start worrying about the money, so it just dies down. Alright, here's the natural lighting in the sun. I feel like it's a little better when it's like natural lighting in the sunlight, because I feel like it's not as shiny as the inside and shit. But you know, the finished tattoo looks clean. All them low ass details and shit. You know, I'm pretty happy with it. Hey, what was the pain scale?
It's a calm 6 out of 10. 4 out of 10 for this part. Like I didn't even really feel anything, but this is a 6 out of 10 at the top. I don't really, you know, it was calm.
Once the redness dies down, it's gonna look better. That's how it usually is, you know. This is me in the future. Hope y'all enjoyed the video and stuff. You know, pretty happy with the outcome of the tattoo and stuff, you know, especially for how small it was and shit. But in the future, I'm definitely gonna go more in depth with my process and stuff like that. Maybe do a little speed a time lapse or whatever, just me tattooing. Maybe I'll have like a conversation with my clients so y'all could kind of see, like, I don't know, just discussion, and it makes the video more interesting and shit. But yeah, that's gonna be in the future. Obviously this is my first video, so I'm kind of getting used to doing shit, talking to the camera, and just like all that shit, editing and all that shit. So, but yeah, I don't really see a lot of tattoo artists doing videos like this, like showing the process and stuff like that. But let me know what else y'all trying to see and shit. Like, just let me know in the comments if you want to see me like do some speed paints, just me drawing. Maybe I could do like I could do videos on the like art process itself, and then another video on like the tattoo. So like maybe like a two-parter video. But just let me know what y'all think and what y'all were trying to see. But hope y'all enjoyed this shit. Hope you have a nice night, nice morning. Peace out.